Hey there, happy Saturday night. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And yeah, I'm here a little bit later, but I'm actually in my house, which doesn't happen too often these days. Just got back from a football game that my youngest played in for his college team, and it was a home game. So I thought, you know what? I want to spend some time in my craft room. My hubby went back out into the field to check and see how things are going while we were away today for a little bit. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to gather up one of these projects I've had you guys work on at my in-home stamp camp and give you guys some inspiration by showing you this. So hey there, Joyce. So I'm going to use the Construction Zone stamp set. It's a super cute kind of standalone. When I say standalone, it means like there aren't any dies or anything that coordinate with it. But I thought, people loved this card at the in-home stamp camp. I kind of bought it, the stamp set, thinking like, oh, this will make a great card for like my grandson or even my sons, because moving equipment and different things on the farm. And my one son is into landscaping and works a lot with different kinds of equipment with that too. So I thought this is a great set for that. And I'm anxious to do more. And it's kind of got some birthday themes to it as well, as I'll show you. But I thought, well, just for a fun little pick-me-up card, I like that for that too. So you know what, I'm going to show you guys some inspiration tonight, even though it's late, because the house is kind of quiet. It's a good time to do that. So let me get my camera. Oops, hold on, I clicked the wrong thing. Here we go. Get my camera turned around. There we go. And then I can show you a little bit more about it here and get going. All right. So I did remember to change out my October host code. So something to keep in mind, I have a fun thing that I'm doing for the month of October. So anybody that orders using that host code, each week there's going to be a different kickback as far as like a different embellishment packet. But keep in mind, next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So you'll get free shipping if you order next week, plus an embellishment packet from me if you use that code. If you're ordering over 150, don't use a code because you have your own host rewards, which is pretty exciting too. So just want to get that out of the way, because sometimes I get to the end of my video and I forget to tell you all the important things. So free shipping is always a big deal. All right, so here's today's card. Like I said, it says, thought you could use a pick-me-up. So kind of fun, the little crane here. So this is the Construction Zone stamp set. So it has that sentiment, all these fun images, and then your loads of fun. I want to use that with the cement mixer. I think that's kind of fun too. And then this guy too. I almost thought of trying to have him dangle from the hook, but no, but he obviously pairs with the balloons here in a fun way too, and just little images that go with that. And I love just that little stripe safety zone thing too. So that is found on page 81. So want to let you know that. And another thing that I've been using lots of is the layering leaves stamp set. And you're like, okay, these two don't look like they pair together. Hi there, Becky. These two don't look like a pairing as far as, oh, I'm going to craft. Let's pull together these two stamp sets, but I will show you why. Hi there, Patty. So I'm just going to be using these little dots today from the layering leaves, because I want it to look like there's dirt on my crumb cake cardstock. And I always say that it's the little speckles and stuff like that that often make it be my favorite stamp out of the whole stamp set. But this one has really, like I said, I've been using it a ton. So I can't say that yet that it's been used the most, but it probably will be over time the more I have the layering leaf stamp set. So these are my two Construction Zone layering leaves. Both of them are from the annual catalog. So that's where they're coming from. And this one I should get put together pretty easy for you, because like everything, I'm kind of taking the pieces from my stamp camp to show you. But I also have to show you, like, sometimes you go, oh, Belle makes things look so nice and easy. Not always do things go very easy for me. Hey there, Jill. So with this, like, I don't know if you remember me, this was probably the last card video I did for you guys, maybe. I can't even remember now. And I have Harvest Brain going on. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to make these, and they fold up, and then the inside. So I thought, well, okay, just to do things in steps, don't we all, when we have a stack of cards that we're working on. I'm just going to stamp all the insides and get that going, and then I'll work on those frames and the deer and such. So I got out this whole stack. I think I had 13 of them to make. And so I should have stamped here. So instead, here's where I stamped. So I stamped all the insides. The only thing is, this is how my cards should open up. So yeah. So if you think you're ever having a bad day, just know that I don't do things perfectly all the time. So I wanted to get 3 of these cards out quick and easy in the mail. So what I ended up doing is cutting this, pasting this on another card front or card base, and then saving this piece because it's boho blue and it's pretty. This is obviously then stuck to the card base, and then I just took another like inside just plain white and stamped this stuff on there. So now my card I feel like is 3 times as thick as it needs to be because I had to cut all these pieces apart, and instead of going quick and easy on note cards, it's like, oh good grief, Belle. So that's just to show you that not always do things go as planned. Hi there, Amy. Okay, so Pam says, just did that. That makes me feel better, but I now also feel sad for you because it's very frustrating. And I guess it's, it's just one of those things that it happens. It does. All right, so let me not mess up like that when I make today's card for you guys. All right, so for this, what I'm bringing over is just a card base that is Daffodil Delight. I love the bright color of our Daffodil Delight. I love it because it's bright yellow. It's not too bright, but just is a cheery yellow. That's how I always describe it, a nice cheery yellow. And then let me show you this piece of the Balmy Blue here because it's got this fun embossing folder on here. First, let me give you the measurement of that. That is 3.75 by 5 in the Balmy Blue. And you can see it's just the top because these are those new embossing folders from the mini catalog, and these are called Cheery Patterns embossing folders. And I almost feel like they could easily be missed because of where they're at in the mini catalog. And this is where I should have the mini catalog and show you, but they are in the mini catalog. And if all else fails, I always direct people to the back where things are kind of listed by like category. So when you see dies and embossing folders, it'll be in there. So Cheery Patterns. So you'll get 2, and these are kind of the long skinny ones. And so you've got some fun big like circles here, and it'll give you like outlines of the circles as it embosses it through. And then this one just can look like waves or such. And so I thought, well, this is just kind of fun for texture for the sky. And so it can look like, sky images or however, like wind, maybe a windy day. We've had a lot of those, believe me. Got something stuck in my contact yesterday just being out in the field because of the wind. It was crazy and it was irritating, believe me. So that's how I have that put together. Yeah, and Amy said missed those. Yes, and so very easy to do just because of, like I said, where it was placed. But I am like a sucker for embossing folders. I love buying embossing folders because they're relatively inexpensive, and I think they just add just such a great bang for your buck on your projects and such. Okay, so then the next thing I did was took a piece of crumb cake cardstock and just cut that with the Basic Borders dies. So the Basic Borders dies just has, it's got all these fun little shapes in there. That's where we've done the clouds before and different, zigzags, this and that. But this one I use a lot too. It can make a hill. It can make things just like at an angle, depending on how you run it through your embossing folder. And I did kind of want to do a little bit of a hill for this one. And let's see if the camera picks that up. It's got a nice stitched edge, so that's always a fun addition too. So that's how I came up with that. So let me just bring over my my Stampin' Pierce mat and cover that with some scratch paper here. So Amy asked, do the circles look like bubbles? Great question. I think they do. So like anything, you can make it, look like what you want to or not sometimes. And so let me just open this up here. Okay, so like I said, it's almost like a double line in there. So I don't know if that helps. And here's the picture there. I think they could look like bubbles. If I wanted to make something look like bubbles, I would say yes, or even just a fun background. So either way, I don't know if that answers your question or not, Amy, but it's a good question. So hopefully that helps. And thanks, Pam. Yeah, you got to be here to make this. Hi there, Karen. Thanks for joining in, and Tabitha too. All right. So what I'm going to do now is just take and open up my Crumb Cake ink pad and bring over those dots, is what I like to call them, from the Layering Leaves stamp set. Hi there, Wendy. And I'm just going to, here, let me move my card aside so I don't end up getting ink on that. So I'm just going to ink this and move it around a few times to get the darker and lighter images to fill that up. And think of like the little pig pen from the Peanuts gang, Snoopy, and we're gonna want to make this look kind of dirty, like the ground. Oh, thanks, Carol. I miss you. Hopefully I'll see you soon. So hopefully this is looking a little bit like dirt with just those dots there. So I'll set that aside. And now I can just put some adhesive here on that. And don't forget, today is World Card Making Day. I don't know, let me know if you guys joined in on any of the activities for World Card Making Day. Stampin' Up! Had a great online event. I was at my son's football game, so I didn't partake, but I do, if I get time, want to watch the replay. So chime in and let me know if you guys did anything with that. All right, so now I've got this put on the card here, and that, let's see, it's been a hot minute since I made my sample. Okay, I did pop it up. Sometimes I forget and I have to look at my own sample because I've made many cards since I made this one. All right, so I'm going to put about 6 dimensionals on there just to give it a little bit of lift from the Daffodil Delight card base here, like so. Hi there, Fran. Good to see you on here. All right, now this is ready to go on here, and Fran will be like, oh, I know what card that is. I got to make it at your place. All right, so next I'm just going to grab a strip of some basic white cardstock here and open up my Memento Black ink pad here. All right, and then I'm going to pull over from that construction zone the cute little crane here, like so, and make sure that's got a lot of good black ink on that. Okay, and I think since I'm going to bring that over, since I've got my black ink pad open, I'm just going to take this little strip here of basic white and try and center the thought. You could use a little pick-me-up. Oh, that turned out good. So have that going on there. All right. Okay, Jill said I was doing an estate sale at my significant other's farm, so I'm hoping to catch the replay too. Yeah, so last year, all I heard was how great of an event it was. And so with that, I was like, I think like I need to maybe tell more people about this because so many people oohed and ahed over the projects, loved kind of the format of it. So yeah, so I would strongly encourage you to rewatch that, and maybe you and I can hold each other accountable for that. All right, so I'm going to color in my crane now. So I'm just pulling out the light smoky slate. I thought about doing dark and light, but then when I saw kind of what there was to color, not a big space, especially when I've got some of the black images and artwork from Stampin' Up! Kind of running through that, I thought, okay, do you ever go, is that worth it for me to do dark and light blending and shading? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And then same with the Balmy Blue. And so I'm going to just use one of the colors that, oh yeah, good, you like this one, Fran. I'm glad you gave me feedback, because I know for some, they're like, what, we have to cut this out? Yes, and I'm going to do that for you to show it can be done. So next I'm going to take my light Balmy Blue and just color that in here in the big window. And then the blending that I am going to do is going to be with a light and dark Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to start with the dark and just kind of outline here, kind of a thick outline to get the whole top of the truck here. Just go across the bottom and then up the sides, all of that with the dark. And then I'm going to fill in just this whole dark piece there. And then with the light, it's just going to be a little bit here to lighten up the door, like so. All right, and then that's all for coloring. So for those that think, oh, I don't know if I like to color, yeah, this is pretty easy. It takes just a few seconds. It took me longer to probably go through and explain all of that, you know, type thing. So yeah, so now I'm going to just cut this by hand. And yeah, some people are like, oh, I like that stamp set till I found out there weren't dies, but I think this is really easy. Anytime Stampin' Up! Gives us some really nice edges to follow, like a lot of this are thick edges, so that makes it easy just going up and down this. Probably the trickiest part is not cutting off the little crane thing here, but even that, sometimes what I do is just snip down so I don't have that big piece there, and then follow that up like so. Some people that really like to fussy cut might actually cut out the inside of that, but I'm just going to leave the white there like so. I'm not going to get that into it or make any of you at my events feel like, yeah, like you need to do that. Okay, almost done here. Just going to go around that curve like so and do that. All right. Oh, it doesn't look quite straight. Okay, somebody's going to end up getting this card. I want to make sure that not only for my video, but for who gets a card, like I want it to be good. Okay, there, we've got that. Okay, so now I'm going to take some dimensionals and pop that up here on the project as well. Okay, so I've got that. Okay, and now it's ready to go on my card. So I'm just going to kind of have that be about right here. And now this sentiment, thought you could use a pick-me-up. I'm going to layer that on a strip of the Daffodil Delight. And let me quick measure this so that I give you guys the right measurements. So this is 1 inch and this is 3/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is just tape this to this like so. And now I'm just going to kind of clip this at an angle and clip this at an angle, but I'm leaving that white just straight edge like that. I know that can sometimes throw people off. So these are the same angle there, and it just, you know, I always tell people too, don't overthink it. Just, you know, look at it, cut it, or just leave it straight up and down. And the best advice for people that come to my events, I always say, nobody probably will receive the card from you that has seen it from me to know if you did it exactly like me or not. Like, that's what makes things fun and different. So totally fine to do that. So I'm just going to kind of put that up here. And then as I was working on this card, I thought it needs something and not really accessories or embellishments or bling. But I thought clouds would be kind of fun to make it look fuller in the sky area where there's all that blue. So that's where I reached for my perfect Playing in the Rain dies. So the Playing in the Rain dies has this die that are 3 clouds in one pass through your machine. So it's perfect for this project. So for those that came to Stamp Camp, I had this little tray that had the large and the medium and the small clouds all cut out for people. So all that they had to do then was flip them over and get some dimensionals on that, like one for the little small cloud there. Oops. Kind of like a cat sometimes that just wants to stay attached. Okay, there we've got that, and then I can just take all the papers and add these to the project. So got that. Now I want to look at my samples like, okay, how did I do that? All right. Okay, so I'm going to put the biggest, fluffiest cloud like right there. And hey there, Kim. And then the medium size is just going to kind of almost get tucked behind here like so. And then the small one, because it's smaller, I'm just going to put that up on top so it kind of overlaps the sentiment. And I just feel like that fills up the card a lot more and yet doesn't take away from, you know, the either the sentiment or the fun crane there for the pick-me-up. Hi there, Lisa. Good to see your name pop up. Miss you. Okay, and then for the inside, I'm just going to take my regular 4 by 5¼ piece of basic white here, and thought you could use a little pick-me-up. Sometimes, you know, that can be related to so many different circumstances. So I'm going to leave my inside of my card be pretty pretty open, so that you can write whatever you want in there for those that are getting this card. But I thought these construction cones would be a nice little addition here. To put on the inside to kind of just follow through with that theme. Those little construction cones are kind of fun. And so I'm just going to tape that down. And I kind of left it up to people that came to my stamp camp. If you want to color those cones in, you sure can. So here's what they'd look like. If you didn't color them in, I think it would be just fine. And so that would be perfect either way. Jill says, I don't have any of these products, but cute card. Yeah, and I think too, like I said, at first, I think when people see the stamp set itself, they might go, oh, that kind of looks like it could be for kids, you know, little construction zone, cute things. But man, if somebody, if I needed to pick me up and somebody sent me this card, I would be like, oh gosh, that is adorable. I would love having a card like this sent to me, and I would not feel like, isn't that for kids? I would not feel that way. So I always say that, would I feel that way? All right, so there we have it. So that's our project number 5 out of the 6 projects that that people got to make here at my in-home stamp camp. So in case you're keeping track, then I have one more project to bring to you at some point. Being it's harvest here, like I always say, hey, see you next time, because I never know. And it kind of depends on the weather. Some days I get a break and I don't even have that planned or scheduled in, obviously, either. So this is project 5 out of 6 from my stamp camp in home. And so, yeah, so just keep in mind that next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, free shipping on orders of $75 or more. Just know that I'll also be sending you out a free embellishment pack if you use my host code. And my minimum that I had set before I knew that there was going to be free shipping was $75 too. So you kind of get both deals that way. And if you decide that your wish list is really big and you go over 150, then you get to use your own host rewards. It's still free shipping. I'll still give you a little thank you gift too, and I'm still working on the last month's orders, getting those little thank you surprise packets out to those that have ordered too. So working away behind the scenes here. So I will see you next time with another inspirational project. Have a good night. Bye-bye.